chit chat session, grab a coffee, grab a fun drink. I really just want this to be something that like resonates with anyone who's struggling. The whole reason I wanted some sort of platform was to be able to connect with especially like younger women, or if you're going through your teenage years, or just honestly, like even if you're well into your 30s and your 40s and you're still struggling with this, like I wanted to connect with women who are so lost with nutrition, or are unhappy with their bodies, or like just don't know what they're doing wrong, which I feel like a lot of us, when it comes to like weight loss or like maintaining your weight or just feeling good in your body, like this is something that I've really struggled with growing up. So I feel like it's something that I wanted to be able to help other women with specifically, especially like if you grew up in an environment where it was okay for people to always comment about your weight, right? It was okay for an aunt to be like, oh, you look like you gained weight, or oh, you look like you lost weight, or you don't look good because you lost too much weight, or you know, like anything like that, where okay, like I think I went about life maybe just like thinking that it didn't bother me, which where it did, like it really did. And even when I was like younger in high school, I was looking at all these different diets, or there's like the military diet, which by the way is extremely unhealthy. There's so many other diets that like first of all are really unhealthy. They're very restrictive. They're not something that you can maintain, and they're also like not relevant to me, right? Like I grew up eating Syrian food or Middle Eastern food in my household. My mom was the one that cooked. That's what I ate. So none of the diets included any of the traditional foods that I ate. And that to me like was very stressful. There was never like a hijabi or like a Middle Eastern woman or whatever like telling me her experience with like body image issues, or growing up in a culture where it was okay for people to always comment about your body, or you grew up always hearing your mother like talk about her stress with her body and how she doesn't like it and her struggles with losing weight. And I always told myself, or like when I grew up and I started like kind of like really loving my body and respecting it, I never want, inshallah, like if I have a daughter, I never want to make that something she worries about. I never want her to hear like me or maybe like anyone in her environment be like, oh, like I hate my body, or oh, like I can't eat bread because it has carbs, or it's like gonna make me gain weight, or whatever it is. And I know it's like you can only control so much, because I feel like that's our environment, that's what's on social media. So I will try my best, but I hated the fact that I kind of like grew into that. And again, like as much as I was like, oh, that doesn't really affect me, it did. Like I struggled with body image issues, and I always tell my clients like that's something I still have difficulty with every once in a while. And then I try to just kind of bring it back to like a neutral idea of like I'm nourishing my body, I'm respecting my body. I'm a woman. That means like our bodies are going through so many hormonal changes, right, through the month, right, because of our period. So like our hormones are up, it's down. We are supposed to gain like whatever, like 3 to 5 to 10 pounds depending on who you are. We're supposed to bloat. We're not always supposed to, you know, look the best. So it's something that I have slowly started to realize, and it's just a message that I really try to put out there, that we want to stop trying to focus on fixing our bodies and fixing the way we look, and taking everyone's like what they say really to heart. Because honestly, like why are we living to please other people about the way our body looks? Why are we living to always be like, oh, I can't eat that? Life is too short to sit there and always worry about what you're eating, or you know, that you're unhappy with your body. If you're unhappy, I understand, we could change it. Like you could always work on ways to change it that are sustainable, and that is key to everything. If I were to share like my personal story, because I don't think I've said it before, like I know I've talked about my struggles, but when I was my first year of college, I went to college, I dormed, and so I was very out of my environment. Like my mom wasn't there to cook for me. I didn't really have much activity. Like my dorm was in the building of my school. It was a very small college, so like I didn't really have anywhere to like walk too much. Also, the food in the cafeteria was not great. I was also much more of a picky eater, so a lot of like fried food, fast food, whatever. So in that year, I mean, in high school, I was okay. Like I was at a healthy weight, but after that year, I had been at my highest weight And then after that, I started taking nutrition classes, and then I started really applying everything that I was learning. And I've been able to lose and maintain like a 40-pound weight loss, which I know it is a lot, honestly, it is. And to many people, like, they don't understand that I've been doing this for like years. Like, I have maintained my healthy habits, or the habits that like really feel good to me, for so many years. They'll just look at me and be like, oh, you've lost so much weight so quickly. And then I also know a lot of people where like they make assumptions, right? They make assumptions. They'll be like, oh, she lost weight so quickly, she was probably like on Ozempic or a weight loss drug. And I'm sorry, but some people do work hard, you know? Some people work really hard to lose that weight. You can't just like minimize it to something like that when they have been struggling, right, to like get to where they are, to where they're happy. Or like, you know what, like it's not easily, you can't easily talk about weight like that. And that's why I really try to be very neutral about weight, because also you don't know if someone has some disease or some disorder, or they're on some medication that makes them gain weight or lose weight, whatever it is. So like I always say that like just try to be weight neutral. You do not know what's going on with someone. Anyways, I felt like I rambled there. Let me take a sip of my coffee. But what I'm trying to say really is there are some simple ways, right? There's, if you want to, whether you want to honestly like lose weight, gain weight, maintain your weight. I have worked with clients that wanted to do all three. Some of them want to lose weight, some of them want to gain weight, which every time I say like I help people gain weight, they're like, oh my God, you help people gain weight? Because I'm like, everyone wants to lose weight. Like that is the trend. So, and I've also helped people just build healthy habits, like lifelong habits, and that is what makes the difference. I will tell you, that is what makes the difference for me 100%. Like earlier I was talking about walking. Walking is so simple, you know, like just start with the 5 minutes. Like I said, like it honestly, it doesn't take any activity. You don't have to do it on the treadmill if you don't enjoy it. If you do, go for it. Go for it. If you don't like walking, just find some sort of movement that you enjoy. It does not have to be high intensity. If you're not a high intensity workout girly, I'm not a high intensity workout girly. I feel like it's just like a punishment. Like I've tried spin, I've tried, honestly, I've tried like actually I've never done a HIIT class. I feel like that's just like a turn off for me. But what I really like is low intensity. Like low intensity is what I like. So that's what I'll do. I can do like a mat Pilates workout at home. I do like I've done Legree. Again, it's not too bad. I don't mind Legree, but like I like the cutesy like Pilates, but you will for sure feel it. You will for sure, like yesterday I did a class and I can feel it so much in my abs and my thighs. So you will feel it, but like what I'm saying is, even if it's yoga or stretching every day, just find some movement that you like just find anything that is something that you can maintain. And again, start small. Do like 5 minutes a day, build it up to 10 minutes, find a buddy that will do it for you and do it with you, and you know, create some accountability for you. Find a dietitian. I'm always available. But really, like I try to keep you accountable. Like I'll message you, or like have a friend message you, right? Or set goals together. That is a big one. Setting SMART goals. So they're like very small, realistic, attainable goals that are something that you can meet is like high priority. Instead of just being like, okay, I want to lose 30 pounds or I want to like run a marathon. Great, but you're not going to run a marathon without like breaking it down and really knowing what you're going to do day to day to be able to run that marathon. Another thing, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but one thing that really, I go through phases sometimes where like I love working out or I don't love working out, but walking I'll stay consistent with because I really enjoy it. But what I found is a couple months back, my friend was like, why don't you try a ClassPass? And I was like, okay, let me try it. I don't know if you've heard it. This is not sponsored at all, but it's something that really like helped me jumpstart my workout routine. But anyways, let me explain it real quick. So ClassPass, if you like, I'll put my referral in the caption below, or like in the little box below. But if you use someone's referral, they give you like, I forgot if it was like 60 credits or something like that. That is a lot of credits to try out a bunch of different classes. So I went to barre classes, I went to Pilates classes, I went to yoga classes, You can try as many studios as you want, like ones that are participating. There are boxing, there's high intensity, there is like so many different classes on there. So it really like varies based on what you like. You can choose whatever you like. But that first little trial period, you can try out different studios, try out different instructors, try out different like forms of activity, and really find what you like. First of all, you're not paying for it, so that's totally nice. But it also really kickstart my workout routine. Like, I found the studio that I love, so it's a Pilates studio. Yet this is the one that I always go to and book, and I found the instructors that I love. So out of all the ones, I'm like always going there. So that really like helped me. I'm on like a low plan, so it's like I think $20 a month. It gives you like 8 credits, so that's maybe like 3 or 4 classes a month. I don't know, depending on when you're booking or what time, and what studio. But that like at least once a week I get out of the house, and then like it helps me just like go see other people, first of all, because I am alone in an apartment. It also, like, if you're just in a class, you're just listening to someone telling you what to do, so it doesn't feel like much work either, which I really like. And then during the week, I do mat Pilates at home. So I just do YouTube videos, right? Like, they're free, they're available. I do no equipment, so it's just my body weight and the mat. So that makes it really simple. You can kind of do that anywhere. But I have found that it really helps me. Like, I really enjoy it. First of all, I feel so good after, but it's also helped me kind of be a little happier with the way I look. That's always important. I'll never tell you that that's not important. I always want you to be happy with the way you look. But sometimes, even if I don't feel happy with the way I look, like maybe I'm like extremely bloated in my luteal phase, I always want to stay positive and try to, again, nourish my body and like just notice how much it does for me, like how it carries me through life, really, you know, and wanting to like just nourish it and just respect it is kind of like what I focus on. But anyways, going back to the activity, that is what you need to do. Like, first step, like, find some sort of movement that you like. That will literally like change the game for you. And stay consistent with it. With any of these, you want to, exactly why you're finding something that you like, because I want you to stay consistent with it. Hold on. Okay, the second thing that I did was start focusing on nourishing my body versus just eating to eat. I think that's a big one. Fruits, veggies, because they're going to have a lot of fiber, complex carbs, protein, those are like your staples, right? And healthy fats, like those are your staples. What I always talk about with clients is a balanced plate, right? If you're imagining like a round regular plate, half of your plate fruits or veggies, a fourth protein, a fourth complex carbs, or whatever carb that you want. I'll never tell you to cut carbs, and all of my clients, whenever I meet them, I'm like, I will never tell you not to have the slice of cake. I will never tell you not to eat something. I don't believe in any form of restriction, but what we do is we learn to eat it a little better. So maybe if you want a slice of cake, combine it with some fruit, combine it with some source of protein, like maybe like a Greek yogurt, right? And another thing is I want you to enjoy it. If you're having a slice of cake, actually sit there, take a bite, slow down, take in all of the, like I say, the 5 senses. So the taste, the smell, the texture, the sound, all of it, right? And really try to enjoy it, because sometimes I feel like when we're like on autopilot, right, especially when we're hungry, we'll walk in and eat 3 cookies and not even be satisfied with those 3 cookies that we like thought we wanted, right? Because you didn't really take the time and enjoy it. So I'll never tell you to cut it at something, but going back to the balanced plate, that's what you want to focus on. When you're having a sort of snack, try to combine like carb with protein, right? Or have a piece of fruit with a healthy fat, like whatever it is, like combining those food groups is what's important. And also, you're not always gonna eat perfectly. I never eat perfectly. Like, it's not realistic. You have events, you have days where you go out. It's not always about being perfect. It's about just staying consistent with it when you can. And for the most part, just honestly, just eat things that make you feel good, right? Like, if we talk about simple sugars, right? Like if you're doing liquid calories or sodas or candy or whatever, what they tend to do is they spike your blood sugar and then if you're eating them alone. They'll spike your blood sugar and then you'll kind of crash. That's why we get some tiredness sometimes when we have something with a lot of simple sugars. So combining it with some sort of protein or healthy fat or a complex carb or some sort of fiber can really be helpful. But yeah, eat to nourish yourself. That's what I want you to focus on. And don't restrict. Whenever you restrict something, you're going to either overeat it when it's in front of you and you can. You're gonna feel like you can't have it in your presence without feeling like you're just gonna eat the whole thing. You're just gonna end up eating it and eating a lot more things. So just eat it. If you're ever craving the cookie, just eat the cookie. Like, I promise, just sit there, enjoy it, eat the cookie. Don't feel guilty. You don't have to like restart your whole diet just because you ate a cookie or ate a brownie. It is okay. And I think that's what we need to realize, that food is just not our enemy. Let me take a sip. I think one of the biggest impacts, and that's what I hear from a lot of people and also like just me as myself, is the confusion that the internet has caused. There's so much on the internet. There is so much about nutrition or this diet that you should try or foods that you should avoid, and there is so much, and it's so hard for like the common public to be like, oh, this is real and this is false or this is true, you know, or who do you trust? There's a lot of people on the internet that will just like get a certificate in nutrition and start giving out nutrition advice. One thing I want to clarify is that if someone says they're a nutritionist, it does not mean anything. You could say you're a nutritionist. Anyone could say they're a nutritionist. The person who has done the education, gone through the internship, has like sat down for the registration exam, is a registered dietitian or a registered dietitian nutritionist. Some dietitians will call themselves nutritionists because it's more common than dietitian, but when you're looking at someone's page, make sure you're looking at advice from a dietitian, nutritionist, an RDN or an RD, versus just anyone that says nutritionist or whatever, because they probably don't have the full credentials. They probably took like a 3-hour course and now they're giving full advice to the public on nutrition. So social media in itself, it causes so much frustration for me, especially when I see people and like they'll be like, I don't eat carbs, or I'm afraid of carbs, or carbs make you gain weight. Carbs are our body's main source of energy, especially our brain. We need carbs in our diet. And again, go back to the balanced plate. Like, you can have carbs, just make sure you're having like proteins with it, or make sure it's a complex carb, or make sure that you're adding fruits and veggies, right? Kind of look at the whole picture versus taking like certain food groups or certain foods and being like, no, those are terrible. Like, we can't have those. So yeah, the internet very much frustrates me. The everyday where there's like a new diet. I feel like the keto was trending a couple years ago, or like a low carb diet, low fat diet, low whatever diet it is. Even like the extreme high protein diets are not something I agree with. Eating a protein rich diet is really good, but you do not want to go to extreme levels of like eating that much protein a day. And this will depend, like your protein needs will depend on your age, your activity level, right? Like it changes throughout your life. So what's right for one person is not right for someone else. That's another point. I have so many frustration points when it comes to internet. I could probably do a full video of like all of the things that frustrate me on the internet, and then all of the things about the big food companies and the way like our dietary guidelines are set up that just do not align with like real research. And that's what I think is important. Like, dietitians are reading the research. We're staying up to date. And mind you, nutrition is a very, very new / ever growing like field. So there's not always clear research for everything, right? Or like one research paper will pop out about how carrots have carbs in them and they make you gain weight, and then everyone will stop eating carbs. Like, but there's so much to like learn when it comes to nutrition. So I don't know. I feel like staying up to date with the research is important. That's another note. Activity is number one, or like honestly, whatever you can start with, just start with. Activity, focus on just having balanced food. And the third thing is just really respect your body. Respect your body. I know it's so much harder for me to say versus like putting it into practice right away, but just love your body the way it is. If you want to lose weight, like again, work with a dietitian, I'm available. Or just like really take small steps. Focus on eating a little better, you know, like the balanced plate that we were talking about. Focus on moving a little more, and don't look for a quick fix. That is another big one. I feel like everyone is like so focused on losing weight quickly, right? Like quickly. Mind you, a lot of us did not gain the weight that quickly. Probably it was over time. So first of all, it takes time. Second of all, anything when it comes to like a crash diet, so like if we're talking about like calorie restriction, right? Like I've seen people in 1,200 calorie diets. That is not healthy. That is not good for you. Second of all, it's probably less energy than your body needs just to function like normally, like breathe, your heartbeat, like if you were to do nothing. Second of all, it's not realistic long term, and that's where the sustainability comes along. Like you want something that's sustainable. So if it's something that you cannot maintain lifelong, don't do it. I also don't want you to try to maintain a 1,200 calorie diet lifelong because that is dangerous. Also, when you're losing weight quickly, you're losing more muscle weight than fat, which can be dangerous. That's a big issue right now for everyone that went on Ozempic, where if they're not making sure they're not eating enough protein, they are losing so much of their muscle mass, and that can be very, very dangerous. That's what I'm saying. Like we want to not lose our muscle mass, so we want to go slow when it comes to weight loss. Don't look for quick results. Really just focus on building healthy habits, versus like focusing on the weight. Another big one is the number on the scale. I feel like especially as women, we're taught that the number on the scale really defines us, and it does not. I am here to tell you that the number on the scale does not define you. And I told you, like, our weight fluctuates like 3 to 5 to 10, whatever. It fluctuates throughout the month. So if you're stepping on the scale one day and it says like the weight that you want, and then the next day you gain 3 pounds, I promise you, it was not the piece of bread that you ate yesterday. I promise you, it's probably your body just holding on to extra fluid or whatever it is. But what I'm saying is, like, throw out the scale for the most part. If the scale causes you any stress, try not to weigh yourself. There are other ways to figure out if you're on the right track with maybe your weight loss journey. Like, are your clothes fitting a little better? Are you able to move a little easier? Are you just overall more energetic? Like, those to me are much better measurements than the number on the scale, because I know how disappointing it can be to step on the scale and see a number that you do not want. And I know that can throw away all of your progress. If you have been sticking with these habits and you feel so good and it feels like you lost some weight, but then you step on the scale and it's not what you want to see, that can be so disappointing, and I know it can. So just don't step on the scale. Just don't step on the scale. Just focus on your healthy habits and don't worry about anything else. I feel like that's enough of me talking. I did not know that I was gonna chit chat that much, but honestly, like, that's how it started, guys. We were talking about why I started this. Yes. So going back to what I was talking about, I struggled a lot growing up with my own body image. I struggled a lot with trying different diets and not work, and having them like not work. I struggled a lot with taking comments from people about my body. And so again, like kind of doing my nutrition classes and just kind of starting to take what I was learning in class and applying them really, really, really helped me. And that's what I've been doing. I don't know, it's been like probably almost 8 years, honestly, since I've kept the weight off and maintained my weight. I'm like at a point where I'm very happy with my body. But again, it's through finding things that work. It's through finding things that work for me specifically. And that's what I do with clients. Like, I sit there and we go in depth about their schedule, their day-to-day activities, what they like to eat, what they don't like to eat, and we start setting goals. And that's where you see the progress. And again, it's never like the quickest weight loss or the quickest weight gain or whatever, but over time you will see how much of a change it is made. Like even for some clients, for me, they'll be like, I noticed how much my grocery cart has changed, like how much I feel more energetic throughout the day, or how much protein allows me to like reduce my food noise because I'm not sitting there thinking about food all day because I'm satisfied with what I'm eating. Same thing with fiber, same thing with, you know, like maybe glowing skin because you're drinking enough water. So it is the little things that make a difference. I just think nutrition and like weight and body image is something, again, that's become so complicated because of social media and just what people like always want to talk about nutrition. Like I feel like as a dietitian, to me it's so interesting because like whenever I'm walking on the street or sitting at a restaurant or whatever, I'm always hearing people talk about their weight loss or their weight gain or this diet that their friend tried or whatever it is. So to me it's very interesting, but to everyone else I feel like it can cause more and more and more confusion. But I'm telling you, it's a lot simpler than society has made it. Eat to nourish yourself, love your body for all of the things that it does for you, you know, like just again, breathing every day. The fact that you wake up every day and you're able to get up and go to your job or go, you know, out to a cafe or whatever it is, like all of the things that your body does for you. Be grateful for that. Love your body the way it is. Avoid the people that will talk about, you know, your body image or their body image. And if it's something that stresses you out, you can either be like, hey, like, I'm sorry, this isn't a topic I feel comfortable talking about. You are able to set boundaries. You have the full right to set boundaries, and there's nothing bad about doing that. In the end, just find what makes you happy. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. If you made it to the end of this video, just put some hearts in the comments. I want to see if anyone actually made it here. Just know that I really am here for you. I want to be your big sister through any sort of like health journey. If you are looking for a dietitian, I'm your dietitian. I can work through Faye, which accepts a lot of insurances, and most people are paying like $0. So I'll put my link in the caption bio area below. If you'd like that, I'll also put my class pass if you want to try that out. But thank you so much for watching again. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye.